when we got to Philadelphia, we realized that it was a complete ghost town, and it still is eerily quiet the night before the Pope's big visit. That deadly train derailment happened right here behind me, and as you can see tonight, crews are still on the scene. Police say the 19-year-old mother was pushing her 1-year-old son right here on the Hamilton Bridge. She stopped to pick him up, kissed him on the cheek, and then threw him over the railing into the Lehigh River and jumped in right behind him. After we aired that report on the Stockertown Rod and Gun Club, many of you from all over the region contacted me and told me that bullets are also flying into your backyards and into your home. Some parents tell us they're disappointed in the school's response. That lockdown began at around 8:15 this morning. Parents weren't notified until a little after 9:30. Now, if you want to call an Uber yourself, it's really easy. You have to have the app. You click on it. Within hours of viewing our report, District Attorney John Morganelli launched a criminal investigation. Usually around Christmas time, I'm all bundled up. I'm in my hat, my jacket, my scarf, and today, just a light jacket. Wendy Robb, officials say they found 50 bullets on the floor in or near the cafeteria here at Emmaus High School. Tonight, students are safe, but parents say it was an anxiety-filled day. Mother's love on full display.
Do you imagine the worst?
During an emotional embrace.
Your only concern is your children. That's it, at the end of the day.
As she's reunited with her daughter after what they say was a terrifying ordeal.
We couldn't use the bathroom. That was probably the biggest thing. We weren't allowed to go anywhere.
Which is a good thing. That's lockdown to me.
Emmaus High School was on lockdown for 3 hours after administrators say they discovered contraband on the property.
The announcements came on saying that this was an external event and that nobody was going to be harmed.
After further investigation, officials confirmed 50 .22 caliber bullets were brought into the school and spilled from their packaging, either in or near the cafeteria. It's not clear who brought the bullets inside the building. Pictures like this one have been circulating on social media.
We have Snapchats, tweets, pictures, videos of people seeing that there was .22 caliber hollow tip bullet shells on the floor.
Officials say all of the bullets were recovered. Students were dismissed at 11:15, and no weapons were found and no arrests have been made.
I'm just glad nobody got hurt and everybody was safe. Everybody got out okay.
I want to make sure that my kids are safe. That's it.
Some parents tell us they're disappointed in the school's response. That lockdown began at around 8:15 this morning. Parents weren't notified until a little after 9:30. Now, school administrators won't tell us why that is, but they do tell us they've swept the school and they will reopen tomorrow with an increased police presence. Reporting live tonight in Emmaus, Hilary Lane, 69 News. This is a typical Sunday in the Foles family's backyard.
I can't stop.
We only come outside on Sundays. It's the only time that I feel safe to bring her out here.
Every other day of the week,
We're scared for our lives.
with a gun range less than a mile away,
My 4-year-old daughter knows what it sounds like to hear a bullet whistle past her head.
Haley's parents and grandparents, who all live here, say she must play inside.
What's going to happen to her if she gets shot? I don't know how to stop it.
The Foles family and other neighbors here who didn't want to appear on camera say bullets from the nearby Stockertown Rod and Gun Club are flying into their backyards and into their homes.
I shouldn't have to be afraid of my own house, and neither should the rest of the neighbors. They shouldn't have to be afraid to walk in their backyard.
We're the easiest target.
Lee Clewell is president of the Stockertown Rod and Gun Club. The range has been in the community for more than 50 years. Do you believe the bullets that are flying into that neighborhood are coming from this range?
Not for 1 second.
With the ammunition used here, is it feasible that the bullets could reach that neighborhood?
Yeah, they shoot some very big weapons here. Yes, they could go much farther than, yeah. Absolutely.
But again, Clewell insists the bullets aren't coming from his range. The gun club isn't breaking any laws because there aren't any laws on a local, state, or national level governing gun range safety. There are just guidelines from the National Rifle Association.
Every year, we try to make improvements back here. If I thought it was from us, we would possibly shut the range down in a heartbeat. But I need to see proof that it really is coming from here.
There's no doubt in my mind that this is coming from the range.
Former Stockertown police officer Ken Collins says he personally investigated calls for stray bullets into neighbors' homes when he was on the force in 2012.
The actual firing line is in direct line with these houses that are being struck.
And he isn't the only one who says the range is at fault.
It's been an ongoing problem for over 3 years.
This former Stockertown police officer says he also recovered bullets from neighboring homes that he is sure were coming from the club. He agreed to talk to us if we hid his identity.
Police chief hasn't adequately addressed the problem.
Both former officers insist they approached Stockertown Police Chief Joe Slowey with their findings.
He was convinced that it was not coming from the gun range.
But when we approached Chief Slowey, he admitted there could be a chance the bullets were coming from the club. You're saying the bullets could possibly be coming from there?
There's a possibility of anything could happen.
But even with the knowledge that the bullets could be coming from the range, the two officers insist Chief Slowey told them to stop investigating.
He told me not to spend any more time in any further investigation. That would be up to him.
He just wanted me to do a preliminary incident on the report and place it on his desk. That was the end of it.
No one has come to me directly and said, we know for a fact that these bullets are coming from the gun club. That is a falsehood. It has not happened.
But we obtained this Stockertown police report from 2012. In it, a former Stockertown police officer writes that the bullets hitting the neighborhood appear to be coming from the club. Have you ever seen that police report?
I have not seen that police report.
So we showed him the document. Have you ever seen this report?
I would have to say somewhere, if this is my police report from 2012, I have probably seen it.
But didn't you say officers have never come to you before and said that this was an issue?
I am saying that, yes.
But in the report, right here on page 2, it clearly states the former police officer made contact with Chief Slowey and advised him of the call. The former officers tell us more than half a dozen police reports just like this one have been filed, where they stated the bullets appear to be coming from the club. Under Pennsylvania's right to know law, we requested access to those other documents. The chief refused to give them to us. He told us it's because this case is still under investigation. But we spoke to multiple former officers who tell us the chief told them to stop investigating any cases related to the club more than 3 years ago.
He did not want me to further investigate.
But when we asked the chief if he told officers not to investigate, he said,
absolutely not.
You have families who are nervous for their kids to play outside. Is that concerning to you?
It's very concerning to me. But again, until we have the evidence in order to come to a definitive conclusion, we're going to take a day-by-day basis.
But the former officers say nothing has been done to protect the neighborhood from gunfire, even though those officers say they've reported to the chief that they believe the bullets are coming from the club.
I believe the police chief has a close alliance with the gun club.
And that relationship includes perks for officers on the force.
Any policeman out there that wants to come in and use our range, it's all open. We'll give them free memberships.
Including the chief. 69 News has confirmed Slowey takes advantage of that free membership, and the Stockertown Police Department uses the range for training purposes. A business relationship the chief insists is not a conflict of interest.
There's numerous gun clubs throughout the area that we could utilize.
But the officers continue to shoot for free at the Stockertown Rod and Gun Club, and the department even receives money from the range. Our cameras were rolling at the town's council meeting when the department received a $500 donation from the club.
It's greatly appreciated.
With knowledge of this donation, we asked the chief if he really was doing his best to protect the neighborhood.
That's a question that there's an impossible answer to.
But these two former officers say they know the answers.
It's clear that there is a problem, and it's coming from that range.
Anybody in that area could be injured, could be killed from a stray bullet.
We're certainly open to making mistakes.
And the family says those mistakes could cost this little girl her life.
I am scared for her. I'm scared for our family.
If something would happen to her, I don't know what I would do.
Nobody in her home. Shouldn't have to put up with this. I'm sorry.
So we did some digging to find out who else can oversee the safety issues surrounding the gun range. According to the NRA, that falls under the building inspector and zone officer in each town. In Stockertown, both of those positions are filled by Joe Slowey, the police chief. Wendy, Rob, that gas line break happened right here in this area. UGI crews left the scene just a little while ago. As you can see, Route 412 here is reopened to traffic. It was closed for more than 7 hours. And the Turkey Hill here that was evacuated a little after noon has reopened as well. We also spoke to neighbors here who just tell us they are so happy to be home after what was a very long and trying day.
I was like, oh my God, the whole town's gonna blow.
It was a scary day for locals living near Route 412 on the Bethlehem-Hellertown border.
And I'm worried about if my house is going to blow up and I'm going to lose everything.
This after UGI says a third-party contractor hit a 16-inch high-pressure natural gas line, causing it to rupture. It happened a little after noon near the intersection of Route 412 and I-78.
Gas was blowing out. Dirt was blowing out.
Jeff Myers works at Chevy 21, a few feet away from the gas line break. He says his bosses ushered everyone out of the building shortly before police arrived to evacuate the business.
Our managers were right on top of things, evacuated our showroom and our customers. We went to the back parking lot, and then I just ran from there.
Local roads were closed too. Police shut down Route 412 between Cherry Lane and Shimersville Road shortly after noon, causing a rush hour traffic nightmare and leaving neighbors unable to get back to their homes.
I didn't have anything with me because, like I said, I was just running real quick, and my kid didn't even have shoes on, and I'm like, oh my God, what am I gonna do?
Sierra Riley is spending the night at a relative's home as UGI crews work to fix the line.
It's very frustrating.
While frustration boils, UGI officials have been asking neighbors to be patient.
We like to move very carefully in these situations. We want to make sure that our crew on the scene is safe and everyone else in the area is safe.
Again, UGI crews left the scene just a little while ago. Neighbors have been let back into their homes, and 412 here has reopened. Reporting live tonight in Bethlehem, Hilary Lane, 69 News.
Come on, come on, come on.
When it comes to the holiday spirit, they say seeing
You got it? Here, what's your stuff?
is believing.
Which is the tree? Over here, by your left.
For 14-year-old Treasure Signorelli, this is what she sees.
Treasure, hi sweetheart, how you been?
But her spirit is as alive as ever.
It makes me feel very happy, and that's what I like about Christmas.
Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Treasure is the big sister in this big family, and for the past few years, she's been dealing with something pretty tough.
What and when we...
But she's never let it darken her spirits.
It's hard. It's hard.
Shortly after birth, Treasure was diagnosed with coloboma.
Right now, her eyes is dying slowly.
This is what she sees, and one day she may go completely blind.
It's so hard on me seeing her go through that.
It's painful for her family.
That she might not be able to see.
While all this is emotional for the South Mountain Middle School honors student, you can't help but notice that light in her eyes.
I'm not that scared about it because I know I have to be brave.
I want to give her a lot of memories in case in the future she does lose her eyesight completely.
I see that thing over there in the front.
Experiences like this, a family trip to Cedar Beach Park.
Oh my God! That is so cool.
Treasure, what do you like about being here?
I like about the lights and how they're moving. It's very beautiful.
While these displays dazzle the eyes,
they're amazing, especially how some of them move.
Treasure says the holiday experience.
I like it that we get to see the lights, we get to spend time together, that we get to give.
Lights up her heart.
This is amazing, Mommy. I'm very happy.
In Allentown, Hilary Lane, 69 News. Good evening, I'm Hilary Lane. Local residents can now breathe a sigh of relief. That wildfire that's been raging for for weeks in the Poconos is now 100% contained. 1 week after a fatal shooting in a Montgomery County church, the community is coming together. We all know it could be a little scary going to the doctor's office, especially for young kids. That's why a group of local doctors have started a clinic, a new one of sorts. Officials are continuing their investigation into a fire that killed 3 people, including 1 child. The coroner says it could be weeks until we learn the identity of the 3 victims of that fiery crash in Bethlehem. Will the sunshine finally make an appearance after a long stretch of rain and wind? WFMZ's Jacqueline Thomas is here with the latest forecast. Berks County doctor has been charged with indecent assault after allegedly grinding up against one of his patients. It all happened last February in an exam room at Lehigh Valley Hospital. Family and friends stopped by a growing memorial at the crash site to honor the 3 victims. They laid down flowers and religious symbols in their memory.